Welcome in, everybody, as we open up another tab here at the NXT Saloon, and we are covering NXT tonight as well as Vengeance Day. I am joined by one of my normal co-hosts, the Ginger Ninja, who today is a very special day for him. It is his birthday, so I want to make sure everybody in this chat tonight is wishing him a happy birthday. And then we got a special guest from the Table Spot as well as The Boom and Friday Night Review, Mr. KMG, the Bearded Wonder. How are y'all guys doing tonight?
Yo, what up, man? I'm just happy to be here, man.
I'm going to be completely honest with both of you gentlemen. I'm completely fucking stoned.
But is that different than any other day?
I am extremely more stoned today because I have not stopped than I normally am.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. I would have been surprised if you didn't even sleep at all and just kept going all day. But let's switch over to Vengeance Day.
Yes.
So what are we thinking of the Wolf Dogs?
Fucking love the name.
I like them. Yo, their entrance at Vengeance Day was dope too. Both coming out on motorcycles. That was sick.
Dude,
during the pre-show, Corbin's like, I have my entrance. What are you doing? He's like, what do you mean? What am I doing? We're supposed to be doing the entrance together. He goes, well, mine's planned. You have about a half hour to figure it out because we're on first. Like, just the gamemanship between the two of them is just making this so good.
They're like two brothers, two bickering.
Yeah,
brothers.
Yeah. It's great. And I love how I was paying attention to commentary because Brian Saxton's back. I love that bald man. All right.
I'm surprised they put him there instead of Wade Barrett.
I'd have been happy with either of them. Y'all know my feelings on Booker T's commentary. He's a great in-ring wrestler.
I need Black Snow back, though.
Black Snow. King Booker was probably one of the best gimmicks, but I just don't like him on commentary. But to listen to Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker go back and forth on commentary and them ask him, so is the Wolf Dog the thing? And Breaker goes, yeah. He goes, don't ask him. He's not good with math. I'm thinking, this is great.
I love it.
They just bicker, and it's perfect.
I love it.
Bringing up the Steiner math.
Oh, dude, they just pick at each other, and then, like Cam said, they're like brothers. And I think this was one of those roll the dice. Let's see if this works. And they ended up probably. It almost seems like they were friends, like because we all know a lot of them are close behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like when they like clicked behind the scenes, and Sean went, I think we have something here. Almost like they did with DX, just like something generic that just formed from real life.
I would love if they brought this up to the main roster too.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. They are some yes.
Have this at like SummerSlam is like 60,000+. Like, that'd be crazy.
Dude, they were barking at the Rumble, man.
When he came out, yeah.
This guy, like he's a good second generation wrestler.
He is his father's son. He reminds
me perfect combination.
He reminds me so much of Rick Steiner.
He does.
He's the perfect combination of Rick and Scott, I think.
Right, because he could do the high flying moves that Scott did.
Have y'all ever heard?
But he can do the lower. What?
Y'all ever heard Scott Steiner shoot on Braun Breaker?
No.
Mm-mm.
He's like, God. He was doing a shoot interview and they asked him about it. He's like, goddamn boy can get his own moveset. He's like, dude, they do the table of three where straight up Scott's like, yeah, I think your first gear was my boots and your daddy's sling. Like they were just ragging on him for like, it's great to see their interaction because Scott's just straight up like, he gets some goddamn moveset, he'd be pretty good. Stealing our shit.
I mean, he looks just like him. Like it's like a spitting image. And
he really is.
He plays the crowd well. He's like, he is what you said. He is a perfect second generation wrestler.
Yeah. Telling you.
I was glad that they won. I mean, it was pretty obvious they won. I just thought they were going to have Trick take the pinfall so Mello could blame Trick for losing. And that's how they were going to get Mello to turn. But I like how I after watching what happened, it worked out either way. I didn't see the next couple matches, so you guys are going to have to touch base on these. The next match was the Dijak versus Joe Gacy match.
I thought this match was a banger. I thought this was a banger, yo.
He was putting little army men on the fucking table.
Yeah. I forgot about
he
that.
Was posing them on the fucking table.
Yep.
Joe Gacy is so good, though.
It was a great match. The only thing I was a little disappointed in is, and Will pointed this out to me, is that throughout the week, Joe Gacy was tweeting old CZW pictures of himself and basically going, "You don't know what I'm capable of." Like, he comes from a deathmatch background. Like, that was his bread and butter for so many years. And I wish they would have maybe let him loose a little more than they did. But it was still funny enough and just enough hardcore for both of them. There was Gacy doing his shit and Dijak just being the serious one. It was just a perfect mix.
I love this spot where Joe Gacy pushed Dijak off the top rope and he went through the table, because it wasn't like your typical, oh, he gets pushed off the top rope and it's like, oh, it's a nice little flat back bump. No, he got pushed off that mug and it was like he fell off like the Empire State Building.
And it had
So
Legos.
it was a nasty crash.
And that, from what I saw, because I did see this spot, he flew, like he went far. Like that that table was not close.
What up, Dad Hat?
What's going on, Dad Hat? How are we doing today? Yeah, that's it. The table wasn't close, and he went through it, and it had the Legos on the top of it.
Yeah,
like you saw his elbow. His elbow was like this big ass bump on the bottom, bleeding and everything else. But I think I'm gonna have to go back and watch this match. There has been a lot of praise for it, so
it's a damn good match.
And then, what about the 6 mixed tag match?
I think this was the one match. I think this was the one match I really didn't care for. And I guess that's just because, I'm not really fond of, just the tag teams, I guess, right now in NXT. I mean, outside like the Wolf Dogs and probably Frazier and Axiom. So
you don't like
I mean, I like Tony D'Angelo. Don't get me wrong, but as a singles, I think he's phenomenal. But tag team, just like I don't know. I just like it's kind of run its course for me. And OTM, I don't like OTM. I never liked OTM. So it was okay. It was a salvageable match, I guess, but it didn't like blow me away or anything like that.
All right, fair enough. Jax, what was your thought on this match?
Which one are we talking about?
The 6 mixed tag match.
Oh, I found it pointless, to be honest. Like, it could have just given the Ash by Legends booking agency, get them out the mud, a tag title shot. I don't understand why he added, made it a mixed 6-person tag. Like, it was a good match. I just don't understand it.
Well, I get the 6-person tag match part of it because they just introduced the woman into the OTM side of things. But I think they should have won so they can have a future tag match down the line for the titles. I don't see the point of family winning. That's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, it was one of the matches that just to me didn't really need it. I was okay with it, but I would have been great without it.
I understand that. So let's get on to the first of 3 championship matches that we had. The North American Championship between Obafemi and Dragon Lee. Can we talk about how impactful Obafemi's entrance alone was?
Yeah.
That entrance was like a main event superstar type entrance. I loved it. Like, I was like, this guy's a star. Like, just from the entrance alone, star. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it helps that the guy's built like a fucking tank, but still.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely like Obafemi. You know, with me being, you know, more unfamiliar with NXT, I don't watch it like weekly. I was definitely impressed with him. He definitely works well, obviously, you know, he's a bigger guy, so he works a slower pace kind of match. So the match definitely felt longer just from that alone, just because of the pacing he works. But I thought it was great, especially like the closing moments of the match. Because it really started to pick up and his pace started to quicken. So I definitely want to see more from Obafemi, but from what I'm seeing so far, entrance and in ring, I'm pretty impressed with it. And I think he's going to be a mega star. So I like this match though; it was pretty good.
Jax?
I was confused about it first when he first won the belt. I was kind of like, okay, that's he didn't go for the major title. It was almost like Austin Theory going for the U.S. title with Money in the Bank. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But at first I was kind of odd how they were going to put it on someone right like that quick. But he came out Sunday night and proved me why. Like, I think their styles work good together. I mean, they put him in there with, if you don't, and I know the 3 of us don't, and a lot of people in our chat, if you live outside of the WWE bubble, they put him in there with a veteran wrestler that has a style that's quick and fast paced to complement his big moving. So I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Like, it's gonna take someone either wifty or they're gonna have to find a really big powerhouse to take that belt off that guy.
Or it's going to be like in a multi-man match where he doesn't get pinned.
Yeah, or he just stays safe.
But this guy, I mean, it was impressive on how he carries himself too. Even on the mic, he hasn't been like, this guy was a football star. He wasn't a wrestler, and he's transitioned so well to it already. And he is the prime example of how the NIL contracts can work within the WWE, going from the athletes, from the NCAA, and everything. But I'm glad he kept the title. I didn't want to see him lose it so quickly. Dragon Lee was the perfect opponent for him to keep the belt, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Next, we have the NXT Women's Championship. Okay, Cam, you want to start us off?
Yo, this was so fire. Like this was crazy. So, obviously I've always been a big fan of Roxanne, and still am. She's just incredible. Everything she does right now, like she's gonna be a megastar when she gets called up for sure. And I love the pacing of her matches. I don't think I've really seen a bad match necessarily from Roxanne. I was not a fan of how they kind of like how her title reign was so short, because I was begging for a Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade feud for the title. I was begging for it because they have great chemistry. So I wasn't a fan of how they kind of just got the title off her. So I love the fact that they went back to this, because she was, she never technically lost the title. And I'm not even really crazy about Lyra, but I think this is obviously one of Lyra's best matches for me. And then the freaking contract cash in thing. I was like, wait a second. When did NXT start doing cash ins? I was like, wait a second. And then this turned into a triple threat. It was turned into like almost a heist of the century for the women's. And I was like, this is crazy. So it turned into a triple threat, and it was just a tornado. Like you had to basically keep your eyes all over the screen because it was just bodies flying everywhere. Like it was craziness. It obviously made me a fan of Lola Vice too, because I mean she can obviously go in the ring. That's apparent. But for her being a newcomer and her not really being having that many years under her belt thus far. So I
She
thought
came
this
from
was
an MMA background.
yeah. So I think she's another one that's taken to professional wrestling very well. So I got to give her credit for that. So I love this match. Wild finish. We kind of saw that that feud continue backstage after this match, and we saw them go Roxanne and Lola go 1-on-1 tonight. So I think that I just hope that going forward, I hope it ties into Lyra because they're kind of getting away from it. But I would love to see another triple threat between these two, just a regular triple threat without the cash and all that stuff, but just a regular triple threat with these three because I think it'll be another great match for probably for Stand and Deliver. I think that'd be great. So just the only thing I just wish, or I guess I hope, is that they keep Lyra in the title, like in the limelight in the midst of this madness between Lola and Roxanne, because it just keeps the title in a good light if that makes any sense. So, but this is a great match. I love this match.
The inclusion of Lola into the match was done perfectly. I did not think that they would use the breakout the breakout champion in the same sense as a Money in a Bank. I thought it would have been more of I'm announcing that we're going to cash in, and then they set up a match for later. I didn't realize it was like in that moment type deal. And I'm loving the inclusion of Tatum Paxley into this entire thing. The way she is with Lyra Valkyria and everything is just so well done. Jax, what do you think?
I thought she was going to win.
Which one?
Lola, is that her name?
You thought after cashing in she was going to win?
I was like, all right, we got to do women's champion.
I didn't see it for a second.
And then she didn't win. I was like, what the fuck? It's like an unsuccessful cash-in. This is the first time this has happened for the breakout champion. Everyone else has gone on to be successful.
Mm-hmm. She was the first one that did not successfully cash it in.
Yeah, so I mean
but
I'm okay with it. But I mean, I thought the match was good. Like, I'm a big supporter of Roxanne Perez. I don't give a shit if she's heel or a face or a tweener. If she's licking salt cubes, I don't care. Like, I've watched her in Ring of Honor up until now, and she just impresses the hell out of me. Mike, thank you so much, buddy.
If you don't know who Roxanne is, go check out her work in Ring of Honor under Roxy.
They built a whole fucking division around her when they re-kicked off the Women of Honor. She was the chosen one.
Yep. See?
Chosen one.
Will just said Roxy was fire.
Oh, God.
I know WWE's style of wrestling is not everybody's cup of tea. They don't like how the wrestlers are limited. It's because WWE wants the wrestlers to be safe. Like, they're trying to allow people to do it for longer in their careers. They don't want people taking the risks. Makes sense. It's not like with Joe Gacy. Like, I wish they would have let him go a little bit more because he was a badass in GCW. Like, it's fucking insane. But WWE is not like that. So maybe we'll eventually see something along those lines. Maybe they will have a crazy match where they'll be like, okay, here's your one night to go do it. Go wreak havoc.
I just wish I I mean, I'm not particularly crazy about the WWE style either, but it's not something that I really nitpick a lot. I'm just kind of used to it. I watch WWE regularly, so but I from time to time during with certain like heated kayfabe storylines, I want to see them just be allowed to just be like given the green light, say boom, like break out some stuff you used to do, da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, don't go crazy. Obviously, we want you to stay safe, blah blah. But just boom, like let loose because it'll just add to the storytelling in the ring. So
I think eventually they will, because they used to do that stuff in NXT when Triple H was down there. Like you used to have the craziness, the parking lot with Undisputed Era. You had with the
that was
Velveteen
wild.
Dream that match where it was in the parking lot. Like that was insane. Like, so I could see things eventually coming to where there's at that point. We're just not there yet.
Right.
But this match between them, these three women, this was probably my second favorite match of the night. With the first being the next match we're talking about, the NXT Men's Championship, Dijak, Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams. This match of the night, hands down, in my opinion. Like they just put on a show.
Facts.
And we talked about how Trick can be the face of NXT going forward, and this match proved it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys' thoughts on this match?
Ilya took him for everything he had. Ilya said, I like to think Ilya went, listen, I don't half-ass my stuff. And Trick looked at him and goes, let's go. I mean, they went blow for blow. And I was not upset about it.
The finish of this match, though?
Fuckery, I tell you, fuckery.
Where Trick went for the running knee and Ilya hit him with the Torpedo Moscow.
I thought they knocked each other out.
Like, I thought they both hit each other, but when they showed the replay, you see that, nope. Ilya got him first.
Yeah.
It would have been great if they both would have hit each other and they both knocked him out.
Right.
But just the way that they did this match, it was perfect. The little intricacies that they did with Carmelo Hayes on the ringside, like it was very well done.
This was, and again, I'm throwing it back to the main roster, but this was pretty much Trick Williams' true test, such as LA Knight when he went against Roman Reigns. You know, they're looking at him and they're going, okay, we know you have the massive support from the fans. We know you're massively over right now, but are you truly ready? This is what's going to harden you into the diamond that we know you can be if you can stand against someone as intense as Ilya Dragunov. And Trick Williams was like, bet, I got you, bet. So and I'll say this too, like I'll throw it back to NXT No Mercy when he fought Dominic Mysterio. That running knee that he does, whatever he's calling that or whatever. Now when he beat Dominic, from a certain angle, it's like, okay, he hit Dominic. But then when you go to the other side of the angle, it's like, okay, he whiffed completely. This match though, when he hit that running knee, he hit that flush. Like he threw his body into that. Like that was nasty.
He's been doing that a lot lately with this move.
So I definitely like that. That was to me, that was the best execution of that move because it just looked like a violent crash. But again, like I said, once again, I've been saying it pretty much all stream. Like Ilya just raises the bar every time you think, okay, I've pretty much have seen the best of what he has to offer. Nah. He just raises the bar again and again and again and again. So, but yeah, this was easily Trick's best, his best showing. I definitely thought, I'm with you guys. I definitely thought that they both hit each other at first. Because then when Ilya went in for the pin, like when he was still moving after that collision, And then he goes in for the pin. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought he was like out cold, like, and then the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, what? But then they showed the replay, like from one angle, it looked like they just collided. Then the other angle, it's like, oh no, Ilya definitely got up a little bit higher and hit Trick first. So it was a very interesting, ending, and I kind of like it because, a lot of people, because I was actually live for that, and a lot of people in my live had said like, oh, Carmelo's
Thank you,
turning
Sean.
up. He's costing. He's definitely costing Trick Williams that match, and I'm glad that he didn't, because it just kind of would have. It would have been impactful for the sake of the sake of their storyline, but it would have kind of deflated the crowd, I think, in the midst of that match, because the closing moments of that match was just hype. Like, it was just high intensity. It just kept picking up more and more and more and more and more. And so with that ending, it protects Trick Williams. Like, it just doesn't, oh, he's not good enough to beat Ilya. Like, he was that close, to beating Ilya. So I definitely like this match. This match was a banger.
It was a bang. Sean, I only mess with you and give you shit because I like you. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't fuck with you.
Take it from me. I know this.
And thank you, Sammy. Cam, if I ever get lonely again, you're the first person I'm calling.
Please don't. Please don't.
Thank you. Thank you. You're the first person I'm calling, buddy. I know you miss our late night phone calls.
No, what are you talking about?
Man, why do we consist to not tell the people the truth, Cam?
What truth? What are you talking
about? Know the truth. Don't run from your feelings.
What was everybody's thoughts on the turn from Melo?
Oh, dude, it was soul crushing, because not only, like, because it's worse, because now Trick, he came up short in the end. So the fans are already feeling bad for Trick because he didn't accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. Then to get turned on by Carmelo after the fact just makes it even worse. So it's like Trick had a rough night. So yeah, but it was vicious. It reminded me of when when Dakota Kai turned on Tegan Knox
in the
he was
War
just
Games.
Because he was just going wild with that chair. So yeah, that was perfect.
It was sad, man. You just watch Trick lose a hard fought match, then then Melo just takes advantage of him. It's like, man, he just fucking got, he just went through one of the best matches he's ever had. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, this match was amazing. I was watching with Jax and Will, and both myself and Will said this is going on our list for match of the year contenders.
Well, you might.
That's how well this match was.
I do suck. I do suck. Kurt Angle told me himself I suck. I'm living it. It's my dream.
Anything else we want to touch on here before we close out the tab for the night?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's
all right.
If you haven't seen Vengeance Day or the latest episode of NXT, go back and watch them. It's well worth it.
No. Booker T cannot go with Trick when he's called up. Booker T is meant for NXT. Please.
No, Booker T's meant for backstage role.
All right.
Justice for Jax's ears.
That was some good news to announce for tonight.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's always great. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, Sammy's like, it wasn't on my bingo card either. But, all right, guys. Let's close the tab. Let's head on out of here. Cam, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner and at Call Me Cam G. You can find me right here on Rivet City Radio every single Monday night with the Table Spot with Mike and Sean. You can find me on Rivet City Radio every single Wednesday night, which is tomorrow night, for The Boom with Metalcore Mike and Phil Khan. You can find me on our sister page, Off the Top Media, every single Friday night with Friday Night Review with Scalz and Jamie. And then let me not mess this up. You can find me on Twitter at CamandCheese317. And if that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam.
Jax?
You know how hard it was to find Cam to tag him in something?
I had to send him the link to your profile
he had to send
because
it
he
on-
couldn't figure it out.
But I will get Cam's beard hashtagging, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw that. Y'all really
Hashtag
try to
Cam's
get
beard.
hashtag Cam's beard trending.
Yeah, we're going to get it trending. That's my goal. I just have to wait for WrestleMania season to die down. You can find me here every Wednesdays every Tuesdays for NXT on Tap. Sundays for Sorry for the Interruption, which we will be back Sunday. I was just extremely tired this week. Then we were like Vengeance Day was going on, and we didn't add them two together. But you can also find me tomorrow night on the Wolfpack Podcast over at twitch.tv/Wolfpack Podcast there. Thursday, we have moved Nerdy News at 4:20, same time, same network, just a different day. So Thursday will be Nerdy News at 4:20 with me and Will Gray. Anything else, follow me on Twitter at Jaxbo2020.
I am Scalz. You can find me here on Off the Top Media on both Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you guys go check out the YouTube page, watch some videos, help us get to where we can start monetizing the videos on YouTube. We are almost halfway there in regards to the watch hours. So any help you guys can do is appreciated. I am the host of NXT on Tap every Tuesday night, right after NXT here on Off the Top Media. On Friday nights, we have Friday Night Review with myself and Cam, occasionally Jamie, occasionally other guests, where we discuss everything that happened on SmackDown and whatever sport is going on at the moment. We will be talking this Friday about SmackDown and then covering the Super Bowl. We're not talking about Taylor Swift. We'll be covering the Super Bowl. We're not talking about Swifties.
Taylor Swift.
And then watch out for all the videos we'll be posting. We will be starting to cover more hockey. I'm looking to introduce baseball for the channel as well. So make sure everybody checks it out. Follow us. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll hope to see you guys again soon.